Excitement, optimism, what's the sort of feelings within yourself and the squad ahead of the season?
Yeah, like you said, excitement, can't wait to get going, can't wait for the first whistle. Do all this work in pre-season, and you just want the first game to come along, and then you get into your rhythm, and that's where you're comfortable as a football player. But the same as every season, there's always anticipation. You're desperate to get going, and I'm sure Saturday will be exactly the same.
How confident are you that you can improve on the levels that you reached last season?
I think we have to. I think it's simple. The answer is there. We had a tremendous season last year, but we have to part that. It's a new manager, some new players, and a fresh test of mentality, quality, finding a way to win, all of these things. So you have to try and settle into that mode as quickly as you can. Of course, you want a positive start, you want some good results and good performances to build on, and as always, football, the momentum is absolutely key.
Do you relish that sort of target on your back of 3 trophies to defend, rivals strengthening, bringing in players and all that sort of stuff? You are the one to beat. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're in sport and you're in elite sport, then you have to enjoy that pressure. There's no other way about it. There's always a challenge. There's challenges for us within the building. There's always new players coming in, trying to push the players that are playing. You get a real competitive edge within the squad, so that's the first bit. And then, of course, when you come together as a club and a squad, then you've got 11 other teams that are trying to beat you, and that's the pressure that you want as a football player. You want to stay at the front. You understand how hard that challenge is, but it's something that you relish.
When tasted the success that you have already with this club, is there just no way that you want that to stop? You obviously lifted that trophy above your head at the end of last season, and how much determination is there to make sure that come the end of the season you're in that same spot with that same silver above your head? Yeah,
of course, the exact same. You have that feeling. I've been lucky enough to have it a fair few times in my career, but when you start a new season, you start fresh, it doesn't count for anything. Everyone's now looking at, can you win it again? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? And you have to find the answers. And I think to play at a top club like this, then you have to take that challenge on. You embrace it. You embrace it with your mates, the manager, everyone together, supporters. What is better than that challenge to continue to push and try and improve every year?
You talk about that, Callum, but how do you improve? Because it was near perfection domestically last season. How do you improve? What are the areas that you can strengthen as a squad? What do you feel?
Yeah, I just think there's always a natural progression from sort of season to season. Obviously we had a really successful style last year, picked up the 3 trophies, like you said, some unbelievable level of performance right throughout the season. But there'll be different challenges this year. We overcome small challenges last year. It'll be the same again. We might settle into a slightly different way of playing. There might be bumps along the road. We have to be ready for all of that. But ultimately, over the 38 games, you have to show that you're good enough and perform in the games to go and win the league. That is the challenge. Like you said, how do you get better than the performance level last year? We might not, but who knows? We might. And that's the challenge that we have to set ourselves as players and as a group, and obviously the manager will push us on that as well, and all we can do is give our absolute maximum, push each other to try and achieve that level, and hopefully we can do that.
Obviously the manager came in at the start of summer, and you said there might be a slight difference in style, but it's still going to be attacking football. We've seen the manager here before, and that's what he wants to do. But have you noticed any changes, and given that we're 2 days away from the start of the season, how confident are you that the team are ready to perform exactly as he wants to?
Yeah, the work's been good. In pre-season, we've looked at a couple of different ways of playing. Obviously, don't want to say too much, but
Starting 11.
Yeah, exactly. So no, we've looked at a few different systems. Obviously, from the last time he was here, the team was fairly flexible in terms of transitioning from one system into another, even within games. So he's trying to bring that learning to this group as well. And like you said, the style will be the same. It'll be fast attacking football, trying to be aggressive on the front foot, defending. So those things won't change. The principles will be the same. But of course, we want to have that flexibility in terms of tactically and understanding the game.
Has the manager changed at all in the years he's been away? Have you noticed any differences, or is it almost like same old, same old?
No, of course, because he's been away for 4 years, so naturally, people and coaches and footballers evolve over time, and you have to, that's the industry and the business. There's always new ideas. You have to stay current. You have to continue to learn, and that's the beauty of football, is you're always learning. Doesn't matter what age you are. But he's come in, like I said, his principles have remained the same. You see an attacking team that wants to play on the front foot. And as we go, the idea will probably evolve throughout the season, and like I said, we just have to be adaptable to that as well.
We saw the last time the manager was here, almost immediately there was a big improvement in certain individuals, just the way they played, even physically as well. Do you see that in some of the players that maybe arrived over the last couple of years, that they are, they will kind of kick on because of the kind of attention they're going to get improved?
Yeah, he's a top manager, and he likes to work really closely with players. He sort of gets under your skin, and he really understands the players and what pushes you, what motivates you, and then his level of detail and understanding of the game will benefit everyone. Not just the young players, not just the new players, but even the guys who have been here for a period of time as well. For him to come back in and have that level of detail in his organisation, then the hope is that everybody will improve and continue to improve.
Your role's obviously changed since the manager was last year, maybe obviously a deeper role, but is that as well something that you can work on with you, different aspects to your game that you can bring because you're now playing in a slightly different position? Yeah,
I hope so. I hope that we can work closely on the training pitch, and obviously within the structure of the team. Then he'll always have little details that he's trying to improve everybody, and I'm certainly not immune to that as well. I'm always keen to learn, and like you said, in that deeper position, there's always things that you can do more or you can do better, and that's the same for everybody. So we're a really kind of willing bunch to learn, and really trying to absorb all the information that he's got. So again, that'll be no different this time around.
You're also getting closer to him because you're captain as well. How much reliance does he put on you, and what's the chat been like between you and him?
Just really positive. We had a great relationship here the last time. We spoke a lot in training, off the pitch as well. So it's pretty much been the same. Obviously now there's probably a little bit more responsibility on me in terms of carrying his message onto the pitch and trying to coach the team from within the actual game situation. So we'll obviously have close chats in terms of what he's asking me to do and help the team and help the structure of the team. But as far as the relationship goes, we've always kind of had a good relationship, so I'm sure that'll continue.
You've obviously spoken to him.
The manager's doing.
Okay, you've obviously spoken to the manager before about that sort of stuff. Just from your perspective, just how hungry, desperate is he to bring success back to this club?
Yeah, I think you can have one conversation with him. You can see it in his eyes. You can hear it in his voice. And as football people, you always want to bring success. I think if you're just that way inclined, it doesn't matter what you've won, doesn't matter what you've achieved. When you push the start button, your automatic drive just kicks in, and you want to just be the best, and you get that feeling off him when you speak to him. And I've always said this: the more of those types of characters you have in your building, then it gives you a great chance for success.
Fan media, if you got a couple, because the manager's outside.
How important is it for these guys that came in as well as the rest of the squad that every single player plays a part in keeping the standards high and looking to improve on last season? And, obviously getting a treble and these points, it's hard to improve on, but every single player's got a job to do. Is everyone ready, do you think, to go into the season?
Yeah, that's something that we speak about every single day. There's, of course, when the manager picks a team, he picks 11, then there's substitutes, but the guys that don't play are actually more important because they look after the rest of the building, they set the standards in training, and if the training's poor, then the level in the game will be poor. So it's a real collective. It comes for everybody. It comes for the staff, it comes for the supporters, it comes for the players, it comes for the management staff. Everybody has to be ready, everybody has to pay that price in terms of being professional, pushing each other, and that's how you create a culture of winning. And for what I've seen in the building, nothing's changed in terms of that. We've had a really successful group last year. The guys that have come in are hungry for success and they understand it as well. So, of course time will tell when we get to the games, but as far as I can see, then the group's ready for more success.
And how important is it off the pitch for you, especially going into your third season as captain, for especially the new guys coming in, that you make sure that they're ready, and obviously it was Scott Brown's role before you, to kind of make these guys feel welcome, but obviously everyone's got a job to do. Do you feel like a sort of different kind of personality now that you're the main character as captain?
I think when the guys come in, I've spoken about this before, but we've got a really good welcoming group, and we've got a really good core. Everyone gets on. So in my experience in the last 2 years, I think if you ask any of the new players when they've come in, they feel really settled. Just naturally, if you've got good personality and good people in the building, then the whole thing will be much easier. And for the new guys to come in and perform, then they have to feel comfortable. So it's our job as senior players and captain and all these things that we settle them as quick as possible, and then they feel comfortable enough that they can come into the team and produce their best football, and that's ultimately why everyone's here, is to bring success to the club.